Why Saudi is trading American dollars for Chinese Yuan. Saudi Arabia is strengthening its relationship with China by signing a significant deal. This deal allows them to trade in their native currencies, bypassing the use of the American dollar. The agreement is worth almost $7 billion and will be valid for 3 years. It is a currency swap agreement between the central banks of China and Saudi Arabia. China's central bank will now hold a reserve of the Saudi Riyal, while the Saudi central bank will keep China's yuan. This move allows both countries to settle bills using their own currencies, making it a win-win situation for them. While this deal benefits Saudi Arabia and China, it poses a challenge to the US dollar. It is another step towards de-dollarization, a trend that China has been advocating for. This agreement sets a precedent for other regional players such as the UAE and Iraq, who are major oil producers. They are also exploring ways to conduct non-oil trade without relying on the dollar. The appeal of the yuan might attract them to follow Saudi Arabia's lead. China has been actively promoting the use of the yuan in international trade. Prior to the agreement with Saudi Arabia, China had already established 29 swap agreements, including with key West Asian powers like Qatar and Egypt. Saudi Arabia joining this list further deepens the relationship between Riyadh and Beijing. China's support for Saudi Arabia extends beyond economic ties. In March, China brokered a pact between Saudi Arabia and Iran to normalize their relations. Additionally, China pushed for Saudi Arabia's inclusion in the BRICS group. This week, Saudi Arabia's foreign minister visited Beijing seeking China's support to de-escalate the Gaza war. The two countries also have booming bilateral trade, with China being Saudi Arabia's biggest trade partner. Saudi Arabia is looking to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on oil revenues. China could play a crucial role in helping Saudi Arabia achieve this goal. Last year, during Xi Jinping's visit to Riyadh, several agreements were signed, valued at $50 billion. This year, more deals were announced, and Riyadh hosted an Arab-China business summit where 30 agreements were inked across various sectors. The yuan-real swap agreement could facilitate these investments and gradually reduce the reliance on the US dollar. Saudi Arabia's decision to trade American dollars for Chinese yuan is a strategic move to deepen its ties with China and reduce its dependence on the US dollar. This currency swap agreement allows both countries to settle bills using their native currencies, benefiting their bilateral trade. While this move challenges the dominance of the US dollar, it also sets a precedent for other oil-producing countries to explore non-oil trade without relying on the dollar. China's support for Saudi Arabia extends beyond economic ties, and the yuan-real swap agreement could pave the way for further investments and economic diversification in Saudi Arabia.